Hello y'all on YouTube, this is Rob with Rob's Nerdy Knives. This is a quick review impressions of a pass-around knife that I was allowed to check out. This is one of the Hunt series Benchmade. This is called the Steep Country. It's a fixed blade in the blue class series. Pretty interesting knife. I did an unboxing of this. I don't normally do fixed blades, so I'm not going to have a whole lot to say. I'm just going to give you my impressions of the knife. Because this is a pass-around knife, I haven't been using it. I haven't cut a lot of things with it. This is not my knife. I don't treat other people's property in such a way, but we will talk about this knife. This is a USA-made knife. It does come with a nice Kydex sheath, which is the kind of the gray side one side, orange on the other, so it's like in their Hunter class series. Easy to spot if you're out hunting and you drop it. A little more clandestine if you're trying not to, show yourself, reveal yourself. It is called the Steep Country. let me show you again on the box here. It is called the Steep Country, right? Blue class. All right, so I'm gonna get my card out of the way there, so I'm not getting it out of the way. There we go. All right, and it is made of what I think is like a neoprene, kind of a rubber grip handle here. It does have a full tang with an interesting kind of ridges there. It does have a lanyard clip here in the back. It is S30VN blade steel. It is stone washed, full flat grind, comes to a nice thin edge, which makes it a super sharp, crazy kind of nice. Does have a nice little sharpening tool. Gives you a good grip here. Now, I have large hands with big meaty fingers, so if you have extra large hands with normal size fingers, double extra large hands with thinner fingers, it's about where you're going to grip. I think an extra large handle with meaty fingers would be right there, kind of fill it up. Then if you get double extra large, you'd be right on the edge. So if you're looking for a smaller knife for bigger hands, then this would be a smaller knife. If you're large hands, this is not a bad knife. It is a little thinner than most. So the benefit of that, it's not going to turn in your hand. So, there is a plus of that. It does have a lot of traction on here, some nice places to grip, which I think is cool. Some diamond texturing on here, so it does give you that. It does have a little kind of indent here, so if you're doing a precision, like if you're like skinning, after you're hunting and stuff like that, it'll work. It does have jimping here, and then it also has some jimping from up here, so if you're doing a precision skin, like of an animal you just hunted with, this would work well. Now, the fact that you can't take the handles off, you got to make sure if anything gets in there, it won't really wash off, but it looks like it's sealed on there pretty good. Well, not really. So I guess it could come off. So, just keep that in mind. It is S30V, which is pretty corrosion resistant. Not perfect, but, definitely nice. I do like on fixed blades to be able to take the handles off just in case I'm doing some crazy stuff and get really dirty, soily. If you're hunting, sometimes you want to wash it out. You never know, right? Especially if if you're hunting deer or something like that. That happens, right? In Texas, people do a lot of boar hunting. You can do that all year long because they are a very invasive species. So a lot of farmers will pay people just to go hunt them off their property because they cause billions of dollars in damages every year. Anyways, that being said, this particular knife is pretty interesting. It's not bad. I like it. It's thin. It feels like it's got a real good appeal for a specific thing. I thought this was going to be, I figured it'd be $200 knife. I think when I saw it, last I checked, it was in the 160 range, somewhere around there. And I'm sure if you found it on some place where you can get 10% off, maybe even find it on sale, you could probably get it for a little bit less. I felt like this knife would be a good knife in around the 120, 130 range. And I think with the sale price, you can get really close to that. And that might be okay, right? USA made knife for around that, I wouldn't feel horrible about it, okay? Now, if this was $300, $400, I'd have second thoughts, right? So there you go. It comes with a nice Kydex sheet, which I like, and it does lock in pretty well, pretty secure. You can release it like that, and you could probably put like a tech lock on there, an ulti clip on there. I'm sure that would fit on there because they tend to fit pretty well on there. Looks like it has a loop, so go through a belt. Now this is a very small belt loop. I could not use it on my duty belt at all, so that would be, I would definitely need like a Kydex or a tech lock. That's how I would probably end up using it, right? So there you go. I think it's definitely kind of cool. Definitely has some potential. I think it's more specific. I wish there was a different color here. I'm not a big fan of this green, not my favorite color in the world, but not bad. So let's kind of go through the review. It's a Benchmade knife. I don't know who the designer is. Does it say it on here? I don't think it does. I think it's probably, I'm gonna guess it's an in-house design. Does it say on here? Give the person. I don't know. And if you guys know, let me know. I don't know anything how usually they have some big bold branding or billboarding on top of their blade. Who's the designer? And this one it doesn't. So I'm going to guess it's an in-house design. So that's interesting. I will say the materials are not bad. It's definitely got good traction. So if you don't want to lose it, definitely got good traction, texture everywhere. I think that's nice. I like the Kydex sheath over a leather sheath any day. Every leather sheath I've ever had, I've cut and ruined. So I'm not a big fan of those. Just my 2 cents on that. So that's always been my preference. So I do enjoy that. I think the materials, it's nice. It's a full tang. It's what I would expect. It does have a lanyard loop. And for fixed blades, I think a lanyard loop sometimes makes more sense, especially depending on what you're doing, where you're doing it, how you're doing it, right? A lanyard loop could be critical. Sometimes it's not, but in some places it could be very critical, right? It's nice to have a lanyard loop, especially for your gloves, doing something heavy where you don't want to drop it. It's always nice for that. I like the thinness of the blade. It really does have a very slicey, functional kind of ness to it. The full flat grind is really, really nice. Makes it a beautiful slicer for sure. There's no question there whatsoever. I love the jimping on here. That's really, really cool. So all of those things are the function. It opens and closes just in and out as you would in the Kydex sheet, which is nice. You can do it one-handed. You can definitely replace it if it's got a clip. You can definitely redo it easily one-handed, so that's nice. All right, so let's do some measurements on this because you kind of want to know. It's a fixed blade. How much is this guy going to weigh? Well, let's weigh it with the Kydex sheath and the blade together, and we're looking at 4 ounces. All right, so just for the blade alone, you're looking at 3 ounces. The Kydex sheath is going to be 1.1 ounces. So this is probably closer to 2.9 because I think these together were 4 ounces, right? Yeah, and I bet that's really close to just 4.1. So interesting. All right. All right, so let's next look at the length of the knife overall to see kind of how big is this knife. It's not a huge knife, I will tell you that. You're looking at a knife that is approximately 7 and I'm going to say 3/4 of an inch overall. Let me do it this way because I always like to do it this way so I can do the grip handle. We are looking at a grip handle here. Oh man, I touched it and it decided to move. All right, we're looking at a grip handle here that we're about. Come on now, don't do that to me. We're looking at about 3 3/4. I'm going to say 3 3/4 in grip wise. Maybe if you choke up here and go here, you're close to 4, sort of close to 4. All right, overall, the blade from the tip to the back of the handle, you're right at 3.5 inches. Overall cutting length is exactly 3.5 inches. So fair amount of grip there. All right, so let's look at the blade stock thickness here real quick. All right, so I'm going to measure that. So we're at 105 thousandths of an inch. Does it break down a little bit further out? Yeah, it does. And then further out, yeah. So we're about 102, 103 thousandths of an inch. And here we're about 120, almost 119 thousandths of an inch. Yeah, and so here, so it kind of tapers out, right? So there you go. Not bad, not bad. I mean, it's not a super chunky, thick blade. It's definitely meant for slicing, for hunting, for, fixing game and stuff like that. After if you're taking care of your hunt afterwards, this is a great skinning knife, I would say. So there you go. All right, for the price, we're looking at a knife that's around the $160 range. So I think it's not bad. I think that is definitely, and if the price changed since I last looked, it'll be down on the link. Check out the link down below. Could have changed. Maybe when I saw it, it was a wrong price, but that's what I saw last. If it's changed since then, take everything with a grain of salt. Prices are always subject to change, but I will say it's not, it's not bad. And especially if you can find a sale price on there, get 10% off, 20% off, definitely look for that. It's always usually a good sale price somewhere somebody has it. And I don't know if it's super popular, maybe not, but sometimes you can at least find 10% off in a lot of places. So might be worth checking out. Definitely kind of an interesting knife. I don't hate it. For that price, for a fixed blade, it definitely goes, it's not a budget knife. It's in the standard regular knife, even for fixed blades, as far as I'm concerned. It's definitely not a premium, super ultra expensive knife. Very functional for what it can be. So that's kind of cool. Is this a hard use EDC? Is it a collection piece? Well, any knife can be a collection piece, but fixed blades, I don't typically consider them collection piece, especially not at this price range, but it could be. Is it EDC? Absolutely. This is meant to be EDC. It's meant to be in the truest sense of a knife of EDC carry. So to me, this is the epitome of EDC carry. All right. Second of all, Is it hard use? I think it's hard use for a thinner blade in S30V blade steel as a slicer. I think it's definitely. Now, would I go out whacking logs with this particular one in this blade steel? I don't know. It's a little thinner. I might want to look for something a little thicker blade stock, maybe 3V. You know, something a little Magna Cut, something a little more tougher blade steel, if you will. It's okay. It'll do its job. If you're in a pinch, it'll definitely work. But, you know, as far as what hard use I would use this knife for, yeah, I would absolutely think it's hard use. All right, so what are my features? I mean, how is it opening, closing? How does it feel? All right, so it does have good jimping. It's got good texture, feels good. There's no sharp anything. Even here, I mean, it's a little sharp here. And I think, I guess after a while, this could go in there. But, you know, if I was to buy this knife, I might file that down. I did that on my Rendition 229 Chavez. They had some really sharp corners. This would be an easy to file down. I would say, I would love to see this just, you know, they nice and dull this way. I wish they would do it this way. Because eventually, if you're using, depending on how hard you're using this, going back and forth, a little pressure, eventually it can cut into calluses and cut into skin, especially if you're using a lot. If, like you're skinning a big game or something like that, I mean, after a while that can get into you. I don't know, maybe you guys disagree, and you can let me know in the comments, right? But I love the texture. I think it gives good grip. It's nice and rubbery, so if in a wet condition, I think you're still gonna have good traction. I love the stone wash. It will actually take, you know, abuse and cutting and hitting some bone, and it should still be fine. I like the Kydex sheath. Going in and out of the Kydex sheath, pretty simple, nice and secure, locks in really good. You don't have that nice hard click you would with like a G10 scale. That's because it's this neoprene, whatever kind of rubbery sort of thing, so it's got to overcome that. It might wear a little bit after a while, but you know, that's fine. You don't have the ability to tighten this much more than what it is. You would have to get like a heat gun and pull this together, but you know, it works, right? Definitely a nice as far as that's concerned. All right, so on the fidget scale, what is the fidget scale? It's a knife. It's a fixed blade going in and out of a Kydex sheath, so it's a 1. I have nothing extra for it. It doesn't go in and out in a cool way, in a different way, so it's a 1. It's a 1. It's the best you can ever hope for going in and out. It's a 1. It doesn't even get a 1.5. It doesn't have a super awesome click. It doesn't do a super awesome pop in and out. It doesn't feel super like, you know, ooh, special ops going in and out kind of. So it's a 1. It's a 1 as best I can tell you. You know, the fidgetability or the fidget scale, as far as that 1, yeah, it's a solid B+, A-. You know, I'd give it a 90, 80, 89, 90. It works. I do worry about, after a while, wear and, you know, heat and expanding, because Kydex sheets sometimes expand in the heat, especially if you're in the sun. Then all of a sudden it's not secure, and you got to, you know, you don't have any way to tighten it. I worry about the wear and tear on like G10 on the rubber kind of whatever this. I think there's a name for this stuff. If I remember, I'll put it up here. If not, check the link down below. Usually one of the pages will tell you what this material is made out of. It's some special. They have a weird name for it, so I don't know. I don't know if I'll remember to put it up here. I hope I do. But it works. It works, right? So I'm going to give it, like I said, it's an 89. It's a B+, A-, right? Is it recommended? Well, as far as fixed blades, yeah, it's a little on the expensive side, I feel, for what you get. If you find it on sale, it's more reasonable. I think for what this knife is intended to be, its goal and its purpose, I would have to recommend it. I mean, it's a very simple knife, thin slicer sort of grip. It's really made. You can see it's got all the things that you would do for a very pinch sort of, skinning of a hunt or something like that. It works. It works. I think I would recommend it. Is it something I would buy? Probably not. It's not. The colors don't match my aesthetic. I don't like this rigid up here. I think it'll work. If you like the aesthetics and how this looks, I think you're going to like this. I recommend it not because I'm like, oh, I'm a fanboy. No, it works. It's very functional. It does everything I believe it's intending to do. Now, for me, the colors are weird. And so I'm not a color fan. I wish there was different options. And usually I don't know if there is with their fixed blades. They're kind of, they don't really have a lot of options. So, you know, for me, that's going to be a no-go. The material, this is, I'm assuming this is a very desired material for some people. For me, it's not. So, you know, in some cases, maybe I would like it, right? I do like the Kydex sheet. That works really well. I'd like to be able to put an ulti-clip or a tech lock on there, and I think I would enjoy that. And that's how I would enjoy it. I mean, if it was a knife that I had been given or got a really ridiculous sale price on or something like that, yeah, I might buy it, right? I'm recommending it because I feel like the target audience in its intended purpose, it does it well. Okay. And I think if you can find it with a 10, 20% off, I feel like it's a fairer price. Not saying it's the most fair price. I'm saying it's a fairer price, right? I don't really pay full price for any Benchmades I buy nowadays. I always look for a sale. And I recommend that because Benchmade's gotten a little expensive. We all can agree on that, right? For some of you guys, it's gotten so offensively expensive that you get violently angry. And, you have your right to your opinion, but I would just caution anybody to I get you may feel very strongly about it, but don't allow that to cloud your ability just to see a knife for what it is, right? Because someday you may come across the knife at a great deal, and because you're so clouded by your maybe disgust at some of the prices you've seen, you might miss out on a good deal, right? Because I still think I like my narrows. I like my Benchmade narrows. I know some of you guys hate it, but I didn't pay full price. And if you paid full price, I will tell you, you weren't looking for a deal. And that's, kind of like, I would almost say shame on you because you can find it if you want it. That's my opinion, my perspective on this knife. Hey, if you disagree with me, if you think I'm an idiot, let me know in the comments down below. It's okay to disagree on this one. I get it. It's a fixed blade. Fixed blades are weird. People have very strong opinions about them, pro or against. I get it. And I'm kind of ambivalent about this one, but I like it. I see the extended purpose, so therefore I'm recommending it. And so I kind of dig that for that purpose. There's a lot of things I would love for it to be different, and I would really, really love it and would love to get in my collection. But for what it's intended to be, I think it does it well. So that's why I'm recommending it, okay? It's not one of these like, oh, I love this, get this. Oh, I just feel like it's a fixed blade that will do its intended job. That's what I'm recommending it for. If you're expecting it to be a super amazing, super, special ops sort of kind of knife, no, don't have those expectations. That would be false, right? Have the expectation of a very light, thin, great skinning kind of slicer sort of hunting knife. Yeah, it does that, right? With some traction, rubbery grip, it's not going to be slippery. Yeah, it does that. So if that's your expectation, you'll be happy. If it's not, you'll be disappointed. All right. Hey, that's my opinion. And, you let me know what you think. Hey, if you found this content fun, interesting, worthwhile, or informative, would you please consider hitting the like button down below? And if you've already hit that like button, would you please consider hitting the subscribe button? Subscribing and liking the videos really helps out the channel, allows the channel to produce more content, do more things, ultimately, more things for you guys. So thank you. Thank you to everyone who watches the videos, who enjoys the videos, who watches the videos, who likes the live streams, who just are part of the channel. I appreciate you guys so very much. And if you haven't already, hit that notification button down below so you can be notified of future content like this video. To all my channel members, a big, huge thank you. Appreciate you guys. You guys allow me to do things way sooner than I could ever hope to do. And so I'm very, very grateful to you guys. And you encourage me at times when I'm not really feeling encouraged because, I work full time. And this is sort of a hobby, a part-time thing. I love it. I enjoy doing it, but sometimes it's hard because there's a lot of work for my other job. So I just want you to know that I appreciate you guys. If you've been on the fence, you thought, hey, I'd like to become a channel member, I would love to have you. I'd be honored. Please don't ever feel obligated, but I would love to have you. There's a link down below in the description on how to be a channel member. I have 3 different tiers. And as a big thank you to all my channel members, I do a once a month members exclusive giveaway. We do weekly giveaways, or every week we do a live stream giveaway, but once a month I do an exclusive special giveaway. It's not just a budget knife. It's usually a much nicer knife because you guys have been so generous with the memberships. So be on the lookout for that. That's my way to say thank you. Thank you to every one of you guys out there. So, yeah. And if you also just became a channel member, email me with your name and address at the, I don't think I have an email down there. I do at the homepage. If you go to homepage on a web browser, you can see the email address, and on the live stream, I'll usually share my email address, right? But you can email me with your name and address, and I would love to mail you a sticker, a way for me to say thank you for the channel members. And if you were a channel member and you've been a channel member all this time, you're a channel member right now and you never ask, email me as well. I'd love to send you a sticker. If you were a channel member and then lost your membership and then got it back for whatever reason, and you're a member right now and you've never asked for a sticker, email me as well. I'd love to mail you a sticker as well.
It's my small way to say thank you, 2 small ways, and thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you haven't already, check me out over on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Again, that's on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Thanks so much for watching today. Have a great day and a great week.